Namaskara. I'll introduce BSKBA Association. Popularly known as Gokul, it is a 96-year-old charitable trust in Mumbai, and our activities include a community center at Sion and a home for citizens at Nehru in Navi Mumbai. With over 5,000 members, we have been actively interacting for religious, cultural, and social causes. The BSKBA Youthwing is conducting Sunday interactive sessions along with the Talent Hunt series. Now let's catch a glimpse of the new Gokul building coming up.
ನವೀಕರಣಗೊಂಡ ಗೋಕುಲ ಕಟ್ಟಡದ ವೈಶಿಷ್ಟ್ಯಗಳು 7 ಅಂತಸ್ತುಗಳುಳ್ಳ ಗೋಕುಲ ಬೃಹತ್ ಸೌಧದಲ್ಲಿ 2 ತಳಮಜಲುಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಸುಮಾರು 70 ಕಾರುಗಳ ನಿಲುಗಡೆಗಾಗಿ ವ್ಯವಸ್ಥೆ ಮಾಡಲಾಗಿದೆ. ಅಲ್ಲದೆ ಸಾಂಸ್ಕೃತಿಕ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮಗಳಿಗಾಗಿ 225 ಆಸನಗಳುಳ್ಳ ಒಂದು ಸುಸಜ್ಜಿತ ಹವಾನಿಯಂತ್ರಿತ ಸಭಾಗೃಹ, 2 ದೊಡ್ಡ ಸಭಾಂಗಣಗಳು, ಭೋಜನ ಗೃಹ, ಆಧುನಿಕ ಸೌಕರ್ಯಗಳುಳ್ಳ 3 ಪಾಕಶಾಲೆ, ಸುಸಜ್ಜಿತ ವಾಚನಾಲಯ, 50 ಸದಸ್ಯರು ಆಸೀನರಾಗಬಹುದಾದಂತಹ ಸಮಾಲೋಚನಾ ಕೊಠಡಿ, ಆಡಳಿತ ಕಚೇರಿ, 12 ಅತಿಥಿ ಕೊಠಡಿಗಳು, ಮನರಂಜನೆಗಾಗಿ ಒಳಾಂಗಣ ಕ್ರೀಡೆ ಇತ್ಯಾದಿ ಚಟುವಟಿಕೆಗಳಿಗಾಗಿ ಕೊಠಡಿ, ವಿಶಾಲವಾದ ಟೆರೆಸ್, 3 ಮೆಟ್ಟಲ ದ್ವಾರಗಳು, 4 ಲಿಫ್ಟ್ಗಳು ಮುಂತಾದ ಸೌಲಭ್ಯಗಳನ್ನು ಹೊಂದಿರುವ ಅತ್ಯಂತ ಸುಂದರವಾದ ಕಟ್ಟಡ ಇದಾಗಿದೆ. ದಕ್ಷಿಣ ಕನ್ನಡ ಶೈಲಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ರೂಪುಗೊಂಡ ಶ್ರೀ ಗೋಪಾಲಕೃಷ್ಣ ದೇವಸ್ಥಾನದ ವೈಶಿಷ್ಟ್ಯಗಳು: ಕುಸುರಿ ಕೆತ್ತನೆಗಳಿಂದ ರಚಿಸಲ್ಪಟ್ಟ ಬೂದು ಬಣ್ಣದ ಶಿಲಾಮಯ ಗರ್ಭಗುಡಿ, ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಕಪ್ಪು ಕಲ್ಲಿನ 44 ಕೇಶವಾದಿ, ವಿಷ್ಣುವಾದಿ ಹಾಗೂ ಸಂಕರ್ಷಣಾದಿ ಮೂರ್ತಿಗಳು, ಸುಮಾರು 36 ಅಡಿ ಎತ್ತರದ ಬೃಹತ್ ಗೋಪುರ, 14 ಅಡಿ ಎತ್ತರದ ಮರದ ಕೆತ್ತನೆಯುಳ್ಳ ಮಹಾದ್ವಾರ, ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಕೃಷ್ಣಾವತಾರಕ್ಕೆ ಸಂಬಂಧಪಟ್ಟ 28 ವಿವಿಧ ಪ್ರಕರಣಗಳ ಮರದ ಕೆತ್ತನೆಗಳು, 6 ಅಡಿ ಎತ್ತರದ ಕಲ್ಲಿನ ಜಯ ವಿಜಯ ದ್ವಾರಪಾಲಕ ಮೂರ್ತಿಗಳು, ಮೇಲ್ಗಡೆ 10 ಅಡಿ ಉದ್ದ 3 ಅಡಿ ಅಗಲದ ಅನಂತಶಯನ ದೇವರ ಮರದ ಕೆತ್ತನೆ, ಮಹಾದ್ವಾರದ ಒಳಗೆ ಹೋಗುವಾಗ 4 ಅಡಿ ಎತ್ತರದ ಪಂಚಲೋಹದ 2 ದೀಪಲಕ್ಷ್ಮಿಯರು, ಪ್ರವೇಶ ದ್ವಾರದ ಒಳ ಮೇಲ್ಮೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಉಡುಪಿ ಕಡೆಗೋಲು ಕೃಷ್ಣ, ಮಹರ್ಷಿ ವೇದವ್ಯಾಸರು ಗಣಪತಿಯಿಂದ ಮಹಾಭಾರತ ರಚಿಸುತ್ತಿರುವುದು, ಮಹರ್ಷಿ ವಾಲ್ಮೀಕಿಯಿಂದ ರಾಮಾಯಣ ರಚನೆಗಳ ಸುಂದರ ಕೆತ್ತನೆ, ದೇವಾಲಯದ ಮುಂಭಾಗದಲ್ಲಿರುವ ಹವಾನಿಯಂತ್ರಿತ ಸಭಾಗೃಹದ ಮೇಲ್ಮೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಶ್ರೀಕೃಷ್ಣಾವತಾರದ ಶ್ರೀಕೃಷ್ಣ ಲೀಲೆ, ಗೋವರ್ಧನ ಗಿರಿಧಾರಿ ಇತ್ಯಾದಿ ವಿವಿಧ ರೂಪಗಳ ಮರದ ಕೆತ್ತನೆಗಳು, ಮಧ್ಯಭಾಗದಲ್ಲಿ ಅರ್ಜುನನಿಗೆ ವಿಶ್ವರೂಪ ದರ್ಶನದ ಕೆತ್ತನೆಗಳು, ಅಲ್ಲದೆ ಗೋಡೆಗಳಲ್ಲಿ 4 ಅಡಿ ಎತ್ತರ 3 ಅಡಿ ಅಗಲದ ರಜತ ಪ್ರಭಾವಳಿಯಿಂದ ಅಲಂಕೃತ ಸ್ವರ್ಣಲೇಪದ ದಶಾವತಾರ ಮೂರ್ತಿಗಳು, ತೇಗದ ಮರ ಹಾಗೂ ಕಂದುಕಲ್ಲಿನಿಂದ ರಚಿತ ಅಲಂಕಾರಿಕ ತೀರ್ಥಮಂಟಪ, ತೀರ್ಥಭಾವಿ, ತುಳಸಿ ಬೃಂದಾವನ ಇತ್ಯಾದಿಗಳನ್ನು ಒಳಗೊಂಡಿದೆ.
So today we present to you a talk on nutrition, health and wellness by Arpita Rao. Arpita Rao is a clinical nutritionist, having done her master's in dietetics and applied nutrition from Manipal University. She is a certified diabetes educator and has 5-year experience in the clinical background. She has worked in Fortis Vashi and is currently working with Dr. L.H. Hiranandani Hospital, Powai. Now with this, I'll hand it over to Arpita.
Thank you, Guru Prasad, for the wonderful introduction. And I would also like to thank Tanvi for giving me this opportunity. And let's start the session. Okay, so let's begin a guide towards healthy living. So I'll cover some few topics today, that is healthy diet and our body, healthy eating pyramid, prevention and control of lifestyle diseases, and tips for some healthy eating habits. So what is a balanced diet? Balanced diet is one which provides all the essential nutrients in sufficient quantity and proper proportion to meet our daily needs. The diet should be balanced in quantity and as well as quality, catering to the requirement of maintenance of health, regulations of bodily functions, and as well as for growth and repair. So, what is in totality healthy eating all about? It is you have to feel great after eating a healthy diet, or I would say I'll avoid healthy. I'll just say that you have to feel great after your every particular meal of the day. So, yes, feeling great is one thing. Second is having more energy. So, your diet should consist or be in such a way that you should never be lethargic or should never feel low in energy. So, overall, the calories should be in such amount that it gives you adequate amounts of energy for your daily needs. And lastly, you have to eat to be fit, or you have to I would say uh, keep your body to keep your regular bodily functions in a balanced way. You have to be fit, and that's why a healthy eating practice is recommended. So, as per NIN, that is National Institute of Nutrition, certain calories and proteins and vitamins and minerals is recommended for Indian individuals. So, for men and who carry out a sedentary lifestyle, approx 1800 to 2000 calories is recommended. Who have an ideal body weight of approx 65 kg, and for women, it is recommended approx 1500 to 1600 kilocalories, and who have an ideal body weight approx 55 kgs. Apart from this, these nutritional requirements, that is the carbohydrates, the energies, the proteins, the vitamins and minerals, all vary as per age, physical activity, physiological status. That is for that matter, if you have having diabetes or any heart condition or kidney condition, these calories and proteins vary as per these requirements. So, what is healthy eating pyramid? So, for better understanding how much carbohydrates or how much veggies should be there in one's diet, or how much fats or that I would say oils and sugars should be there in one's diet, this pyramid makes it understand in a better way. So, firstly, I would say the base of the pyramid is our cereals, our breads, our rice, and rice group. So, that should be the uh, strength of our daily diet. So, that's why this is in the majority of our group. So, I would say in our daily meals, around 6 to 11 servings should be consisted of breads and cereals. Then comes our vegetable groups and our fruit group. So vegetables should be in our major meals a day. 3 to 5 servings should be of vegetables. That includes cooked vegetables as well as salad vegetables. And fruits should be approx 2 to 4 depending on your meal timings. So it should be at least two minimum per day, or try to achieve one at least, but two is recommended for minimum and can be taken up to 4 servings as well. Then comes our protein group, that is milk and milk products, pulses. If anybody is a non-vegetarian, then eggs and chicken and the poultry group. So our proteins come after that. And lastly, the small triangle that depicts our fats, oils, and sweets. That is, this much portion only should be of oil consumption and sweet consumption. Oil includes both visible fat, that is the additional oil we add like ghee, butter, or normal cooking oil. Other than that, the invisible fats, which we get from milk and milk products, we get from dry fruits and other things. So these days, the pyramid has you know, changed its shape, or I would say it is distortified a little. The recommended is usually like this, but what we consume these days is moreover like this. That is, the smaller triangle has, grown a little bigger because our fat consumption and sweet consumption is comparatively more than the rest of the diet. Proteins is usually bare minimal, right? Nobody concentrates on good quality proteins. It is mostly either fats or it is majority of cereals. Veggies, some or the other way it comes in our diet, but fruit is one thing which we don't include or don't give importance in our daily diet. So fruit servings or fruit consumption is almost nil, I would say, these days. So yes, so this pyramid depicts more over our actual consumption, how we are actually consuming rather than the recommended thing. So let me just explain what are carbohydrates, proteins, and fats so that you get a clarity that what all good carbohydrates or good quality proteins should be there in your diet. So carbohydrates are of two types. I would say simple carbohydrates and complex. So simple ones are which are processed or which go through a lot of processing and they are husk और आई वुड से छिलका जो होता है ग्रेन का वो निकाल देते हैं. सो इट्स मोर आर शुगर्स एंड मैदा, राइस, पोहा. So these go under lot of processing, and that's why the fiber content and the nutritional value is a little less. Complex carbohydrates are these cereals which has a skin with it or जिसका छिलके के साथ आटा पिसता है और we consume it with the husk. For example, our whole wheat grain, so गेहूं की रोटी हो गई और something which is having whole wheat flour in the meal. Other than that is our millets like bajra or jawar or ragi or barley or quinoa or oats. So these are our complex carbohydrates with the skin cereals. So these servings should be approx 6 to 11 serving. This also differs when your physiological condition has some different scenario. Like if you're diabetic, these servings change automatically, or if you are obese or on a higher waist to hip ratio, then these servings change. So, but the ideal recommendation is approx from 6 to 11 servings. Then comes our proteins. So our vegetarian protein sources are all the dals and pulses like moong or chana, chole, rajma, and all dals with the skin, the whole grain, whole pulses, or the ones which are little processed like the yellow dal or the tur dal. So these contain good quality protein for the vegetarian people. Other than that is our milk and milk products. So a lean or I would say a low fat or skimmed milk and milk product won't affect the protein quality, but a little fat portion will be less. So always opt for a little toned milk and milk products or skimmed milk and milk products, or simple cow milk and milk products is also fine. So milk and milk products give us some good amount of protein as well. Then comes our major non-veg or meat and poultry group, which has only proteins and fats and no carbohydrates. So this is a higher biological value proteins which are considered to be added in a daily diet. A small portion of proteins are also present in nuts or oil seeds, I would say. So dry fruits like almonds, walnuts, cashews, and oil seeds like even flax seeds or pumpkin seeds have a little amount of proteins in them. So the recommended servings are approx 2 to 3. So our major meals are 2 in a day or 3 in a day. So try to achieve at least one good quality protein in every meal. So lunch means a portion of dal or if possible curd or buttermilk. And if you're a non-vegetarian, then maybe some 2 to 3 pieces of chicken or 2 pieces of fish or an egg portion is fine. Same goes in the dinner or breakfast as well. So in breakfast, whatever you're having, like an idli or upma or poha, some amount of dal or pulse can be added in that, or maybe 1 tablespoon of flaxseed or pumpkin seeds can be sprinkled in there, or a portion of nuts can be had with your breakfast, like around 6 to 7 almonds and 2 to 3 walnuts. So some protein will be added with your every meal, which will help for regular bodily functions. Then comes, I would say, the most important food group, or I would say that is fibers. So dietary fiber, also known as roughage or bulk, includes those parts of plants which our body cannot digest or absorb. So unlike other components like fats, carbohydrates, and proteins, which are absorbed by the body, fibers are those parts which is usually excreted from our body without the absorption. So in means it instead of passing like getting absorbed, it passes through the stomach and the intestine, and it is excreted out. It is classified as insoluble fibers and soluble fibers. So what are the importance of insoluble fibers? It promotes regular bowel movements, and it protects against constipation or any other bowel disease if one is facing. So to maintain normal bowel movements, or to avoid constipation, insoluble fibers should be added in the diet. So the insoluble fibers example I would say is found to have in whole wheat and whole grain products. Vegetables like leafy vegetables or cauliflower, broccolis, and also wheat bran we get. So we get these husk or ready husk actually. We call it a xylem husk, which is readily available to add on in the diet for constipation issues or any bowel movement problems. Then comes the soluble fiber. So this fiber dissolves in the water. That's why it is called soluble, and creates a thick gel-like substance. So this substance binds with the fat or the cholesterol, and then it excretes out and is excreted out of the body. So this helps mainly to control our blood sugar levels, cholesterol levels, and also it helps in the nutrient absorption also. So the examples for soluble fibers to be included for your sugar or cholesterol levels are oats or nuts or citrus fruits, apples, berries, vegetables without the skin, I would say, contain good amount of soluble fibers. So it basically the benefits of fiber is to maintain cholesterol levels or decrease cholesterol levels, help control blood sugar levels, and also it helps to maintain healthy weight. So if one is trying to reduce weight or is has reduced weight and want to maintain it for a longer period of time, inclusion of fibers is always recommended. So if fibers have to be included in the diet or in the daily diet, one should not add it too fast and too quickly, saying that आज से मुझे weight loss करना है और आज से मेरे को blood sugar control में करना है तो मैं large amount of salad ही खाऊंगा या फिर I'll just increase it suddenly in the diet. So the quantity has to be increased slowly and steadily so that our intestine or the gut is given time to digest it, to adopt the changes. So try increasing the fibers slowly and steadily. It's also if the consumption of fiber is in a larger amounts and is not given time for the body to adapt, it creates like abdominal bloating or abdominal discomfort, intestinal gas issues, cramping, etc. So do it slowly. And then if you're increasing fibers, water should be given utmost importance. So increase water as well when you're increasing fibers in the diet. So this allows the natural bacteria in the digestive system to adjust with the changes as well. So when water is plenty, the fiber is absorbed well through the body, so that the whatever work the fiber has to do, it is done accordingly. Okay, next come are fats. So fat is one major aspect of that one should be that should be considered in our daily diet. So fats are of three types, I would say: saturated, unsaturated, and the trans fat. So all will be familiar about these at least major fat content in our diet. So the one which has to be avoided completely are the trans fats. Rest, the saturated and the unsaturated fat groups can be had in a balanced way for optimal cholesterol levels and as well as weight maintenance as well. So unsaturated are further classified as monounsaturated, polyunsaturated, omega-3, omega-6. So all will be at least familiar with these terms. We see in advertisements that the oils are rich in PUFA or MUFA or some omega-3 or omega-6. So that is the unsaturated group which has to be included. And saturated are mostly ghee and butter and coconut oil. So in totality, I would say that this fat group has to be used sparingly or just for the regular vitamin and mineral absorption which is needed for the body. So fats are to be consumed only for basically these reasons. So saturated, MUFA and PUFA, all three fats has to be included for regular this thing. So a combination of coconut oil, groundnut oil, sunflower oil is can be had in the diet, or maybe some amount of ghee and rice bran oil and sunflower oil can be had. So combination of oils is always recommended for essential nutrients from each oil that the body needs. So the recommended dietary allowance from the NIN is 20 to 25 ml per day. So this is the cooked visible fat which we add in our diet. So जो भी रोटी में तेल गया या सब्जी में तेल गया या ऊपर से एडेड घी डाला है या फिर कुछ भी आपने तला हुआ खाया है has to be within this limit. So this is the recommendation which one should follow on daily basis. The examples of some MUFA and PUFA oils are given here. So a combination of these all groups every 15 days or once a month can be changed. So maybe 1 month you can use groundnut oil and sunflower oil and some amount of ghee. Next month can be rice bran oil, coconut oil, and maybe soya bean oil. These days we do get a blend of oils readily available in the market. So that is also fine. Just you have to make sure that whichever oil content is at a higher percentage. So maybe next month you can opt for some other oil which has a higher percentage of the oil. So that you can manage it as per you. But blending of oils is always better to include different type of nutrients, because every oil has its own benefits, has its own nutrients, and every oil is fortified with different vitamins and minerals. So include variety of fats in the group. Also ghee and butter and coconut oil also, even though it is high in saturated fat and has naturally cholesterol present in it, some amount of coconut oil and ghee or butter is totally fine. The quantity of fats what you add in your diet is always important rather than the quality which we use in the cooking. So these days we do have kachi ghani oil or cold pressed oil, and these variety of oils which have newly flourished these days. So refined oil ho ya kachi ghani ho ya cold press ho, until and unless you don't maintain the quantity of consumption, all oils will affect your body in the same way. So quantity is the first thing you have to consider when using fats. Second thing, जैसे मैंने बोला सीरियल्स का प्रोसेसिंग में न्यूट्रिएंट्स थोड़ा कम हो जाता है. सेम गोज विद द फैट्स एज वेल. सो कोल्ड प्रेस्ड ऑयल और कच्ची घनी ऑयल के प्रोसेसिंग कम होती है. दैट्स व्हाई द न्यूट्रिएंट्स आर present in its natural form. rather than refined oils, which undergo a lot of processing, cleaning, and filtering. And that is why these oils are fortified with some vitamins and minerals, because processing में थोड़े vitamins minerals निकल जाते हैं. So oils कोई भी type का लो is fine. Quantity should be important. So the sources of omega-3 fatty acids. So these omega-3, omega-6 should be balanced in such a way so that our cholesterol levels are maintained. So increase of good omega-3 sources in our diet helps to increase our good cholesterol levels and lower our bad cholesterol levels. And some of omega-6 sources helps to maintain the HDL, that is the good cholesterol levels, and lower the bad cholesterol level. So these are good for basically our good cholesterol level part and to lower the bad cholesterol. So omega-3 is profoundly found in fishes like mackerel, tuna, salmon, etc. But for vegetarian people, walnuts, flax seeds, chia seeds, we do get cod liver oil or these omega-3 fish tablets as well to increase omega-3 in our diet. So inclusion of these mainly helps to lower blood pressure, reduce triglyceride levels, slow the development of plaque, or I would say in common language, the blockages in our arteries, and also reduces the risk of heart attack and stroke. So omega-3 is really good for nerve maintenance on your nervous system as well. So inclusion of omega-3 should be given a little more importance in the fat group. Then comes our omega-6. That is, we get it from pupa oils as well, that is sunflower oil or soya bean oil. Inclusion of soya bean in the form of proteins will also give you omega-6. So soya chunks or soya bean in the form of pulse or tofu will contain good amount of omega-6. Other than that, almonds, avocado, sunflower seeds in inclusion will give better this thing. These help to stimulate skin and hair growth, maintain bone health, regulates metabolism, and is also good for maintenance of reproductive system. So, what are the lifestyle diseases one usually faces with aging? So, it's basically a common this thing like obesity, hypertension, higher cholesterol levels, diabetes, some cancer which are related because of improper lifestyle practices, and hypertension. So, cholesterol, diabetes, obesity, and hypertension are the common causes, are the common lifestyle diseases. These lead to heart issues, heart condition, or maybe some have kidney condition because of these excess negligence of diabetes monitoring or hypertension monitoring. Okay, so what all things you should avoid or prevent for these lifestyle diseases to further aggravate. So first thing is you have to, one should avoid fasting as well as feasting. So too much long gaps between the meals is not advisable if one is suffering from these issues. And feasting means because of those long gaps, one tends to have a larger meal because of the long gap. So like breakfast is around 8:30 a.m. for example, and the lunch is directly at 2:30, 3 o'clock. So since the gap between the meal was very high, the person is the hunger pangs of the person tends to be more, and that's why the person ends up eating more. So fasting and feasting both have to be avoided. So small and frequent meals are recommended. So it's not like हर 2-2 घंटे में खाना है, but a gap of 3 to 4 hours is sufficient to maintain a good lifestyle. So around breakfast around 8:39, 11:30, some mid-morning meal or snack. Then lunch around 1:30, 1:30. evening 4:30 the tea time, which is some tea and light snack, and dinner by 8:30 should be good. So these gaps with these timings should be suffice for maintaining your sugar levels and BP levels and also your weight maintenance. Okay. Include more of whole grains, vegetables, and low fat milk and milk products. So whole grains, as I had said, cereals which are with the skin, like whole wheat and wheat products, bajra, jawari, nachni, oats. So these help to maintain sugar levels, cholesterol levels because of their soluble and insoluble fiber content. Vegetables also same, and low fat milk and milk products. So because increasing weight are one of the common causes for high cholesterol and diabetes and BP issues. So try including low fat content as much as possible. Choose the total amount of carbohydrate, that is our roti and rice in the meals, and snacks, that is in between what we eat in the mid morning time or the evening time, is more important than the source or the type of the carbohydrate. So in this point I'm trying to explain that if diabetes लोगों के लिए ज्वार की रोटी अच्छी है या बाजरा की रोटी अच्छी है या oats include करना diet में is good for them. So this is the source and the type, but quantity or the amount how much you are consuming in your diet, that also matters. So if you end up having jawar roti 3 to 4 or oats in around 4 to 5 tablespoon in your breakfast, or maybe too much consumption of these whole grain cereals as well, will tend to increase your blood sugar levels. So this is mainly for the people with diabetes, that carbohydrate amount should also be considered in your meal. So you should not go overboard with your cereals or rice and roti. So try maintaining cereals in moderation and more of veggies, that is vegetables cooked and salads and a good amount of protein. Limit saturated fats and foods high in cholesterol in the diet. So obviously the products which are which naturally contain cholesterol in it should be considered a little in minimal in the diet. And the saturated fats, as I said, the butter and the ghee and the coconut oil cooking preparation or coconut oil consumption or palm oil, these are beneficial in some amounts with balanced unsaturated fats, but obviously these has to be limited because these are not good for our cholesterol levels. So higher consumption of saturated fat will obviously affect our lipid profile, that is the cholesterol part. In moderation and it's balanced fat in the diet, these won't affect our this heart or cholesterol levels. Avoid foods containing trans fat. So this is one thing that has to be completely avoided, especially in our daily diet. So trans fats, some packaged foods have naturally present in it. So if you are buying some products which has traces of trans fat, it's better to avoid. Limit sodium intake. Unnecessary addition of salt in the diet should be restricted. So salt in a way should be just added while cooking. Top salt in like after cooking or in on top of your fruits or salads or soup, anything in such a way that is added top salt should be avoided. So sodium or salt, I would say, should be just added while cooking. Other than that, we have sodium in our diet through many other packaged foods like breads, biscuits, ready-made packaged food if we are consuming. So these contain higher amount of sodium because it's considered a good preservative form. Pickles, papads. So these, other than the food what we eat, are eaten or consumed additionally. So that's why food may your top salt in your diet should be avoided. At least 30 minutes of moderate intensity activity should be carried out. to maintain these lifestyle diseases. So activity is one thing which is good for almost all basic diseases one faces. So minimum 30 minutes is recommended. Know your levels, that is keep a check on your sugar levels, cholesterol levels, monitor your BP, have those regular health checkups at least 6 months or 1 year at least. So if you monitor, you get to know your levels so that you can act on it accordingly. So at least regular health checkups are recommended. So basic if you follow these guidelines, the basic goal is to prevent weight gain, reduce the body weight, and to maintain glucose levels, and especially the lower body weight for a longer period of time. Then some tips for healthy eating. So I usually get questions like how much calories one should have daily. How much calories recommended for me, or how much one should eat per day. So I would suggest that depending on your physical activity and your metabolism, calories should be consumed. But yes, an adult individual should not consume calories like a 10-year-old kid. So it should not, the calories in terms of reducing weight or maintaining weight should not be dropped that much that you lower your metabolism rate on your own. So eat enough calories for your regular functions, for your energy maintenance, for your good bowel movements, for the strength. So that is what I call enough calories. So your three major meals, that is breakfast, lunch, and dinner, should always be with proper timing. Should never be skipped. So breakfast is one thing that is usually skipped by young individuals, especially. And I would also say with office going people, breakfast is usually skipped. So this is one major meal that should not be avoided or neglected. So some light breakfast is also fine, so that in the mid morning time you can have a portion of fruit or a soup or a buttermilk, but skipping meals is not recommended. So if you skip meals, then further calories will deplete and further metabolic changes will happen. Next is include a variety of foods in the diet. So include variety means I would say food group and include local food group. So whatever locally is available in your area, in your state, should be considered as a variety in the diet. It's not like oats ही लेना है diet में, या ब्रोकली ही खाना है सैलेड में, या zucchini ही खाना है, ऐसा कुछ नहीं है। या फिर ए टू आई वुड से वो स्लिम मिल्क ही लेना है नेस्ले का, ये सब भी नहीं। जो भी है local grown and in moderate consumption should be consumed in the diet. Do not even skip any food group. Just avoid milk from the diet daily because I have to lose weight, or just avoid cereals in the diet because I have to lose weight. There is always an alternative. So if you're not having high fat milk, so just have low fat milk, or just curd or buttermilk, which helps to maintain your gut health. If you're not having simple cereals like rice or maida or sugars, and opt for whole grain cereals like jawar, bajra, nachni. So there is always an alternative in the food group. So do not avoid any food groups from the diet, because inclusion of all the food groups maintains our vitamins and minerals and everything in our body. So everything in moderation should be there in the diet. Control your portion sizes. So when listen to your hunger pangs, or listen to your body when you are hungry. So these are these happen most of the time when there's too much long gap between the meals, and that's why the portion size tends to increase. Or sometimes the because we avoid too many food groups in the diet, like too much restriction of sugars or too much restriction of cereals, we end up eating large portion of some of the other food groups. So controlling of the portion is crucial here. That's why small frequent meals are recommended, and listening to your hunger pangs is also one of the key factors. So always listen to your body, and then only the portion size will be controlled. Stay hydrated, be it summer, rainy season, or winter season. Hydration is necessary for our body, for those blood sugar levels, also for the fiber digestion, also for many vitamin and mineral absorption. Water is needed. So, adequate water, around 6 to 10 glasses of water per day is recommended. Other than that, whatever liquids you have, like tea or buttermilk or soups or green tea, black tea, that is something different. But normal water, at least 6 to 8 glasses should be consumed. Don't be too sweet. So, regular consumption of sweet after every meal is considered a little on the higher side, obviously. So try to restrict your sweet too. So maybe you can switch your sweet consumption to something healthier, like a piece of chickpea or dark chocolate, or maybe a portion of fruit instead of the sugar content sweet which you'll be having, or high calorie chocolate which you'll be having, or high calorie some dessert which you'll be having. So switch it to something healthier, which will give you some nutrition, some benefit through it. Like a chickpea is contains of jaggery and the peanut, so it gives you some protein, it gives you some fillingness, it gives you the sweetness as well, and jaggery will give you good amounts of iron as well. So eat something which will give you benefits in the long run as well. So don't be too sweet after every meal. Sometimes some amount is always fine, but not on regular basis. Okay, so keep moving. That is all. This is one of the major aspect one should consider if you have to follow a healthy eating pattern. So exercise of minimum 30 or to 60 minutes daily is recommended. So don't be a couch potato. Some walk after every major meal, or a light intensity to moderate intensity of walking in the morning or evening, or keep a step count, like maybe 5,000 steps, and then gradually increase to 6,000, 8,000, 10,000 steps a day if you are on a weight maintenance diet or weight loss diet. So exercise is recommended for not only weight loss but also for lowering your triglyceride levels, increasing your good cholesterol levels. So जितना हो सके, try to keep your body active for the muscle strength, for the bone strength. This is ये किस सबने देखा होगा कि हर पैकेट के पीछे this nutrition label is always printed. So this is usually neglected, and we just see कि major ingredient क्या है and we buy the product. So we just cannot trust the front of the packet, but you have to read the back as well. So these contain the proper distribution of calories and proteins and fats, and whether how much sodium it has, or how much trans fat it's containing, or whether it is having added sugar in it, or how much is the cholesterol content in the diet, in the packet food. So this label one can go through before buying any packaged food especially. So the percentage over there specifies that how much portion of sodium or a carbohydrate or protein it is giving you for one daily needs. So if it is on a higher level, like if a diabetic person is buying a packaged food which already has added sugar in it, so that has to be avoided by that person. Or if a BP patient is buying a product which is covering at least 10 to 12% of the sodium of his daily recommendation, so that is on a higher level, so that has to be avoided. If a person is facing cholesterol issues and is on medication for cholesterol, and the package has a higher amount of uh, total fat content or has trans fat present in it, Some packets also give distribution of saturated fats and unsaturated fats. So if the levels of saturated fats are on the higher side, so avoid. So always read the food label which is there on the packet. From small to big, every packet has this nutrition facts label. So always read the back of the product. So eat right, focus on your fruits, at least 1 to 2 portions minimum. Start having fruits daily. Any seasonal fruit is fine. Any fruit is recommended. It's not like some fancy fruit has to be taken. Any seasonal fruit is okay. Next comes your veggies. At least one meal salad vegetables has to be consumed for those insoluble fibers which we need for good bowel movement. So your fruits and veggies should be at least 3 to 5 portions of your diet. Make at least half of your grains whole grains. तो राइस भी खाओ, रोटी जवार बाजरा भी खाओ, थोड़ा कॉम्बिनेशन रखो, थोड़ा बैलेंस रखो. प्रोटीन्स, वेजिटेरियन प्रोटीन्स को इम्पोर्टेंस दो. हैव एटलीस्ट 1 portion of dal or 1 portion of curd or paneer in the diet for that protein level maintenance. Okay. And take time to chew your food. Do not eat any meal while watching TV, or if you're arguing with somebody, or if you're fighting with somebody, or if you're on phone or mobiles. So reduce the screen time and take time and enjoy your food, be it breakfast, lunch or dinner. Listen to your body, as I said, whether you're hungry at that particular time. These happen especially in the mid morning time, that is around 10:30, 11 o'clock post your breakfast, and in the evening time, which is after your lunch, that is around 4:30, 5 o'clock. And if one person is awake at night for a longer period of time, so these hunger pangs usually develop and binge eating takes place. So just listen to your body, whether you're hungry, whether you need that particular meal or that food, and whether it is necessary for that particular time. So always listen to that, and try eating early. It's very difficult these days with all our lifestyle practices, but do not eat very late, or if you're having late, do not go to bed immediately. Give your body half an hour, 40 minutes just to settle and then go to bed. So the major thing is workout करना है 1 hour, so walking हो गया, gymming हो गया, सब हो गया. But if the rest of the 23 hours you are not giving good thought on your diet lifestyle, then that hard work is of no use. So if you're working out for that 1 hour, give importance to the other 23 hours also, and try eating some healthy food groups in that 23 hours. Thank you for your attention. So take care of your body. It's the only place you have to live in. And I hope whatever I tried to explain, some of the healthy tips and ideas you will carry out in your daily diet. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you, Arpita Rao. It was a very valuable session. I'm sure the audience will have something to take from it. And in this difficult times, it is actually a much needed talk. The audience is the most important part of any program, and we thank you all for being the part of BSKBA Youthwing family. We thank our president and managing committee of the BSKBA Association for giving this opportunity, as well as for the support and encouragement. I also like to thank Tanveer for the coordination. Please subscribe to our channel and follow us on Instagram by the name Youthwing BSKB. Thank you all for joining.